Grace and peace. Do me a favor. If y'all can hear me, type one in there. The bunching. Of course, I got a bunch of recorded messages. Someone just walked in. I may have to come. I may have to jump on, go in and come back out. Just type one if y'all hear me. Huh? Okay, okay. No, no, no. Y'all hold on. He said he's walking out. Okay, I'll see you later, brother. No, I just he wanted to drop his stuff off in here. He said he's going to come back. A lot of people got classes and stuff. Other people going off on to do their other things. But before I even get into it, I passed a little probationary period. I have a key card for all of the offices, all of the different libraries and the different buildings. They don't know the patients is running the asylum now. It's a problem. It's a problem. I'm gonna leave that alone. But y'all seen, I guess y'all already know with the amount of views that the video had yesterday that it was going to be some, it's going to be some questions. I got the cord here. I think this is better for people walking by in the hallway. And of course, questions are coming in. When we, good to see you, Rome. I told y'all in the beginning we should have left the color of Jesus alone. And I say it sarcastically, but I know a lot of people are offended. I'm going to read some comments from some people that was coming in here. Comments towards, of course, Sister E and Brother Dante. And a lot of people don't like this color thing. A lot of people don't like this color thing. When we start dealing with nations in the Bible, what's the most spoken about nation, most talked about nation? Grace and peace, brother Parker. That's my man from Louisiana. I think you hit me. Well, nobody hit me on the phone right now. This is the other phone. I'm trying to read the comments, but I think you hit me yesterday. Oh, Lee, great grace and peace. Good to see you. And there's some, and the mere fact we discussed this thing, a lot of other people are offended because when we start dealing with Israel, we're thinking of the people that are in the land right now. And okay, brother, I'll hit you later on when after I get out this other class. I didn't even run and get my coffee. And the color thing is, some people say when you start dealing with color and different stuff, that's a social construct. That's some stuff that's just made up. But you can say what you want, Brother Rawls. You can say what you want, Pastor Major. Say what you want. This is something that's heavy right now. And for some reason, they're very offended. So it's hard to talk. Maybe once I get everything set up, I can bring people on and some can talk. But I think to get more clarity, it'll be good to read some people's comments. So the next day, I'll be reading the comments from the previous day. And I'm going to get on. Good to see you, Reverend C. And I'm going to get on, like I said, with a few people from the Zoom. I'm going to get on with, oh, they just cleaning, they disinfecting everything. I thought someone was coming in. And I'm going to, good morning, Joe's daughter. And I'm gonna bring out certain things that people read and people asked. Now there's certain people I'm not even dealing with. I told y'all be careful. We have to watch what we would call the bunching. People attempting to bunch together. All of a sudden, this other funny dude. I see you, Father G. The other funny dude coming around and still bunching. We're beyond that. We're beyond these funny people attempting to bunch everybody together. I'm talking about specific individuals. Why you hear me talking about Pastor Major? You hear me talking about Pastor Kelly? There's certain people, some people through DNA, but there's some people who great grandparents they can trace that just practice the religion. What's the problem? I'm not. Nobody is saying all people that got off them slave ships. Like I said, the people that we're discussing, this group, what we discuss on this channel, we're not dealing with the chart. We're beyond the chart. We're beyond IUPK. We're beyond all that GMS and raping and all. We're beyond all of that stuff. There's different people in here. But you got to be careful because these people will attempt to bunch y'all all together. When I say it's a little bit, it's an interesting time for Israel and for the church and for what's going on is because positioning. I play chess. When we start positioning, we appreciate you, John. Be on good behavior today. Oh no, I didn't even drink the coffee. I prayed. I said, Lord, I'm not. Some people may not understand what you've called me to do. So, and I'll do anything, including throw myself under the bus. So when I seen a dude, G-Man, saying something, and, I'm speaking, shout out to the other pastor. He talked to me, and only a few people know exactly everything that's going on. And I got a lot of people that's been my day one people. But I tell y'all, I finesse this thing. Y'all don't know I'm a block cat. I'm different with it. Y'all don't want to talk. Y'all gonna talk, and the talking's gonna happen. Now, if they don't want to talk, there's a problem. They got a problem, but then you got other people that's just in the background hollering. They're confused and they're hollering, and they don't know the finesse. They don't know what's going down. They don't know the truth is going to come out one way or the other. Let God be true and every man be a lie. We're going to get this stuff from this book. We can say that somebody lied, and we can say the last couple of 100 years it's been some dominance with European culture. Can we say that? Can we all agree? Let's take steps. Can we all agree with that? Can we all agree with that? The dominant culture on the planet has been European nations getting together to rape Africa. And they're the dominant culture we see on TV. English is the dominant language in so many other countries, the language of trade, like we had the lingua franca. That's what it is. Can we agree with that? Nobody's a devil because they bring this up. And that's how people have so insulated themselves. Oh, that's anti-Semitic, that's this, that's that. People have so insulated themselves, and they loose to blowing shots from behind the car. No, come on out. So if we can agree with that, can we also agree on something else? Good to see you, Elder Johnson. Can we agree that the Bible speaks more about Israel than any other nation? Can we agree now, seminary, no seminary, Israelite, Baptist, Pentecostal, oneness, or Calvinist, listen, whatever you believe, whatever you don't believe, can we all agree, reading that book, that book talk about Israel more than anybody else? No Pentecostal, no Methodist, no Israel. Forget who's who right now, black people, white people, Asian people. Talk about Israel more than everybody else. So show enough. Somebody said show enough. So them two things we can agree. European culture, the dominant culture, we can agree that the Bible talks about Israel more than anybody else. Can we agree that before Israel came on the scene, Abraham came on the scene, Isaac and Jacob, that we're not sure that Enoch and Noah were Europeans from anywhere in Europe? We're not sure of that before we start getting into colors. Are we sure that when we look in the Bible and the three sons, y'all from Sunday school, y'all remember the three sons of Noah? What then the three races they represent? That's what y'all told us in Sunday school. Y'all always told us the 105th Psalms that Ham was Nimrod people, and Punt and Sambolia and the Egyptians, or whoever was connected with Egypt and all of that stuff. Them was the sons of Ham, and y'all said that those was African people. African people, Ethiopian people were always close. Can we agree that they were always close with Semitic people in the Bible? Not German people, not Roman people, not French people when we go way, way back before Christ. We'll talk about that. Can we agree with that? Can we agree with that? Can we agree with that? Because I want to make sure we agree with certain things. So later on, when we see people coming on the scene, they're Romans. They represent Rome. We got to try to all move together in one direction. I just want to make sure we lay all of these things out, and then I'm going to get here and I want to read a few scriptures. But I'm not going to read scriptures. I want to read a few comments that people have, and I'm going to give people a chance because there's people that I respect. I respect the brothers from Teo Ministry that I've met through Sister E and Brother Dante, Sister E, who's hosting her own channel right now, but's been riding with us in Sunday Seminary, down with us. Pastor Majors is down with us. Sunday Seminary, he's down with God. He's an honorary member, just down with us. And we are people of a sound mind, and we want to talk. We want to talk. We don't want to beef. We want to cuss. We all love Jesus. And we want to sit down, Father G, and we want to ask ourselves questions. Is it right or is it wrong to think of a complexion of people when we deal with the nation of Israel? Abraham and them marrying who they want to marry. Multiple baby mamas. And I know what y'all saying. I know the stereotypes. So I can pull up the stereotype game. Because you other people don't have baby mamas. That's a black thing. But they got baby mamas in the Bible. I'm going to leave that alone. That's an ignorant place to argue from. That's an ignorant place to argue from. So forget all the baby mamas and who y'all claim right now in the street got baby mamas. Because you do know the patriarchs in the Bible had multiple baby mamas. Multiple baby mamas, and that wasn't really a German thing. That wasn't really an Irish thing. That wasn't really from the mountains of Europe. No, not that behavior. That behavior come from some other folk. God of Jacob, shalom. Enjoy your passion, brother. Thank you so much in the super chat. So we got to look at these things. But somebody asked a question, and they gave a few verses. I wish Elder Dante, I wish he was in here right now. I wish Sister Eva, Pastor Major's in here. Y'all going to relay this. I like people to see this. I like people to see this because a lot of people feel, because they're bringing other people on now, and because of vocab, like I said, it's going to Middle America. So we got middle America, and we got other Jewish people that are believers. We got some Jews for Jesus. We got Jewish people that are believers, and they listen to James White, and they're believers. We got other white Christians. So now, because vocab been on James White, Bible Answer Man, Hank, all them other folk, middle America's watching. So you got black pastors that's scraping because vocab speaks as an authority, and he's speaking as a white to white folk. He's dealing with us in the hood, and I'm not dealing with color, but vocab is considered European. So now middle America, now European Jewry, now regular white good Anglican people, good old Baptist Europeans, now they want to hear about this organization. That's how come I said we got to be careful moving forward. Are these just racist black men that shoot up? The Covington thing that caused the young boy to be disrespected and the Indian man and shot up the place? Is it that? Or are there more regular people that just believe a certain thing, and now that it's open and there's so many Europeans and so many middle-class black Americans want to know about it, guys are going to start writing books. And all of the attention is going to be on moderates as well, what we would call moderates, as well as camps and radicals. Every group got its radical and its devil worshippers. Freemasons got the radicals and the devil worshippers. Islam got the radicals and the murderers. So this is a game that they've been playing. I ain't even got no time to even get to the comment, but this is a game that they've been playing. Good to see you, Baker. So we got to be careful. We're a wise people that's coming here for dialogue that really want to understand some stuff, and we're beyond the games, but I'm going to lay out the games so when y'all see it, y'all will know it. Remember, in here, we're not banging Kojic. We're not banging urban apology. We're not banging all of that, but we come here to meet together and we talk about history and we talk about different things. Now, we know when the Bible deals with color of people, well, we know a lot of times people would think that because color came on the set, the Bible and manuscripts and things were written prior to this black-white thing, this black-white racism, these European images and all that. Prior to that, prior to chattel slavery with in the Americas, prior to that, the Bible was already written. That's how come we tell people, the students of the Bible, be careful when you're lining up biblical slavery and your Babylonian slavery and you're lining up American or chattel slavery. We have to be careful with the differences, and if we don't be careful with the differences, we can run amok. We can run amok. So now the Bible deals with nations, not, what you said, Pastor? The Bible deals with nations and not race. Forget that Acts said through one blood God has created all men to dwell upon the face of the earth. If everybody believed that, we'd have been good from the beginning. But a lot of people used the Bible, then they went to outside sources like the Talmud. They went to outside racist theologians that started writing commentary. So we scared of commentary. Grace and peace, Garfield, love you, brother. So we scared of commentary because commentary is your own spin on writ. And they don't like when we just take writ and we want pure writ. And we throw away Christmas tree. We throw away Easter egg. We throw away St. Pat. They don't want us to throw away that because they want us to have their tradition, but our tradition is devil worship. The dark people, all our tradition is devil worship. Well, we can show and prove we believed in the afterlife before all you other folk. But that's wrong. No, you're trying to spit us up. We all bear witness there was a whitewashing. We all said, so now everybody gonna be like the other lady said on TV, Santa Claus is white, Jesus is white, angels is white. Then on top of that, we started using symbolisms. Now, dark stuff is the devil food cake, angels food cake, light and dark. Forget why the preachers wear black for the occult truth of the well, that's a whole nother thing, because y'all claim y'all don't teach the occult in church. So I'm gonna leave that alone right now because I don't want to confuse anybody. So then when symbolism came in, white is good and pure and holy, and black is dark and wicked and evil. That came in later on, after the Bible was written. Chattel slavery came along after the Bible was written. But these things are mingled together now. So the thing that hurts me is because people want clarity and people are looking and people are searching and people are re-evaluating the text. People want to be offended with the people that are talking and coming and getting together. Say they don't want us to talk. They don't want us to compare the text. They don't want us to question certain things. They want us to blindly follow. No man that has ever been revolutionary has just blindly followed. Jesus was the ultimate among revolutionaries. He came in, the Pharisees and established religious authority didn't like him. Why didn't they like him? That shows me something right there in the Bible. Don't go with the religious crowd. The religious crowd is wrong. Jesus showed me that. The religious crowd is wrong. Oh, Berea, they different people and they this and they that. All right, that's okay. We had the Essenes, we had the Sadducees, we had the Pharisees. That's okay. That's okay. That's nothing to beef about. Y'all beefing about stuff, the wrong stuff. But that's what they use. Good to see you, Mike. Sure. That's what they use to confuse us so we won't get to the root of the problem. That's how come when the cops hem you up, they don't wanna get you to the precinct unless you start talking. They'll let you talk a little bit, but they want to make sure they steer you back to feds. They want to make sure they steer you back to the conversation. Where were you? Because they want certain questions answered and they don't get away from that. We got to make sure that when we talk and we put videos out there, that we're not letting these stumpers, we're not letting these racists that's controlling the writ. Because you can be racist and control the writ. And seminary, you could be a seminary professor and racist and control the writ because this is their MO. This is what they did. They used the writ to justify slavery because they were the white people that said, no, this is wrong. They said, no, these people are cursed. They're the ones that God told us to do this. And those were the leaders. Those were the seminarians. And they didn't even want us in the seminary, black people. Then when they let us into the seminaries, we were so happy to get in there so we can say we're above you. I got an MDiv that we didn't even question the professors. So we kept riding with the book. Y'all heard Pastor Jerome Gay. He said, well, I go to seminary and I read certain stuff and I see Athanasius and I see different people in the text. And on the front of the book, they're Europeans. Now, we're wrong because we want to adjust some things. Not saying we want to change the Bible. We want to adjust some things and we want to go with the words of the Bible and not the words of the commentary. Not the words of the professor. And I'm going to tell y'all another thing. We got to be careful when even dealing with the words of the preacher. That's why they don't like us. Because we saying the preacher got to step down, let God arise. And God, they said that book, where that book at? Mine over there, and the other one's on the phone. And they said, let God arise and let his enemies be scattered. Let God arise. Thy word, O Lord, is settled in heaven forever and ever. So we got to get to the word. And they mad at us because we reading the word. I got a problem. Houston, we got a problem. They mad at us because we showing them the word. Oh, never mind that. Never mind what? I ain't drank no coffee. I said never mind what? I got a key now. I'm off probation, but I still got to, I got to be on the low with it right here. We got to talk. Many scholars argue that Augustine was melanated, but was painted. Come on, man. Y'all don't want to talk about that. God bless Thomas Oden that wrote that book, How Africa Shaped the Christian Mind, because he said, listen, we can't knock the fact that seminaries came from Africa. High intellectual thought with the Bible came from there. Then later on, somehow it shifted and went to Rome and went to Europe. And we can prove that secret societies, Jesuits, people, a Council of Trent, people had beef. They're like, how are we going to come against these Protestants? And Freemasons and everybody were involved in that. But I don't want to get away from the thing. People got a color problem, and people are arguing that Christ was light. The Jews are light. The Jews have always been light. The Jews are light, and the Jews have always been light, and we're arguing that that's impossible because you're trying to make most of the people in the Bible. It's safe to say we all grew up and we believe everybody from Abraham to Moses, everybody in the Bible was white, except the devil. They want the devil dark. And we know Europeans did that because we started dealing with symbolisms in Europe from the 14th, 15th, 16th, and 17th century. So if anybody is light-skinned and say they're saying that they're the true Jews, and we're not saying, that's the problem. We're not saying that those people are not Jews. No one is saying that. It's not a us against them thing. We're just trying to clarify that there were people here, and there are people here that have Hebraic or Hebrew descent. And what's wrong with that? And these discussions are coming forward, and we have other people that are dark-skinned people that want to convert to the belief system. Now that's where y'all can argue Acts 15 at. But how can I argue if Pastor Kelly can prove his great-great-grandmama was Hebrew? Who am I? That's the church problem. We don't took this authority too far. And the church has been a strong authority in the African American community among black folk. But it's a new day because there's other people coming in questioning the pastors, and we are living in a generation where there's many people in the pews that's smarter than their pastor. That's why we started pushing pastors need education, pastors need seminary, pastors need different things. We're not here to disrespect anybody. But at the same time, like I said, y'all not going to disrespect them with your craziness, with your stereotyping. The same tools that's how we got to be careful, because the same tools that we say the Europeans and the slave masters use, I'm fearful that many Christian pastors are using that against their own congregation. I'm talking about black on black crime right now in the name of religion. I'm not disrespecting anybody. I'm just saying we need to come to a place where we can talk. I'm telling y'all the people that I believe have read a few things, and we can come out. You heard the brother Dante said, listen, are you willing to change his position? You heard the brother's Teo ministry, and y'all keep asking, is the Son eternal? But is Jesus God? That's what the other guy said. This guy Timothy, let me read a little bit of what Timothy said. Exactly what do you think the Nicene Council was about? Why would the church, why would you have to teach church history? Timothy's a light-skinned person. Timothy could be a European Jew, I'm not sure. But Timothy, if you're listening right now, I'm going to read your comments so everyone else can comment later on, and then I'll bring a few people from the Patreon that I know are not with an agenda, but they're open, sound-minded people, and they're asking a couple of questions. What time is it? All right, I got 10 minutes. But this is what he asked in the comment section. But do they believe the Son is God? When we said the Son is, they just gonna keep riding that, and y'all have to say it over and over and over and over. It's like a spirit that's blocking some people's mind. Timothy can be new. I don't remember seeing him, but it's like a spirit that's blocking some people's mind, and they'll keep coming back because they were trained and they have a We all, like, even when I was an apologist, we all have a program to follow. Like the police supposed to follow protocol. We all have a program to follow, and they have a program to follow. That's how come the brother was shocked when Major says, yes, I do believe in the Trinity. Now you explain it to me. He was shocked because they get thrown off because when you, even like the Mormon church, when you get them off of their book, when you get them off of their square, because the first thing is, when you're dealing with the Israelites, you bang on them for the Trinity. When you're dealing with Jehovah's Witnesses, you bang on them for a God, Jesus. When you're dealing with, and this is what they knew, this is what they're used to. They're not used to just dialoguing and reasoning. This is what they used to. I know you got books. I know you got a degree. I can say recently in the last year, I have come to really, really believe you can have a degree and be a fool. We got some degreed up, MDiv'd up fools out here and moving in darkness. Then we got some people that's not that educated, but they're moving in the spirit of wisdom and understanding that God is pouring out on the people. He said, can you ask Dante and Sister E, ask and if you're getting disrespectful, gallery that followed them, why they don't ever address these verses. And he's going to bring up some other verses like, first off, they aren't Israel, and until they stop pushing false doctrine. Let me try to get to whatever. He brought up some verses about, like, how people were talking about Solomon being blushy. I don't even see. Let me see if I can continue reading here. Jeremiah 30:6. Listen to me, Israel. Jeremiah 30:6. Ask you now and see whether a man does travail with child. Why do you see every man with his hands on his loins and every woman travail, and their faces are turned into paleness? Paleness, bleaching. So when they're saying paleness, when we say people are pale, he turned pale, we're saying that these are Europeans, and people use scriptures like that. Remember I told you 2.3 billion people say they believe that book. And a lot of them read and a lot of them have that book. So we got hundreds of millions of people and they got scriptures. So he's asking about Jeremiah 30:6. And he's using that verse to attempt to prove that Israel is light-skinned. Other people use Revelation 1, or what's that, 2 and, not 2 in the synagogue of Satan, y'all know his feet are like brass, that's 1 and 14, to prove Jesus was dark skinned. When we start talking about skin color, are we playing ourselves anyway when we deal with Israel? Think about Abraham's wife, think about the wives of David, think about that. Are we playing ourselves when we deal with skin complexion? And his sister E, is Dante, is Teo ministry, are they saying all Israelites look like me? Or you got Israelites that's looking light skinned like Tisha Campbell, or like Naomi Campbell. Like you got light skinned Israelites like Alicia Keys. Then you got Israelites that's looking like Denzel. You got what's the guy that played in Blade, the dark skinned brother. They might be a little bit darker than me. So you got Israelites of all different colors. What are we arguing now? Don't come here and we're trying to argue that everybody is dark. Everybody is dark. We're talking about a nation. Y'all hear me when I say nation? Light like me too, yes, brother Rolls, yes, absolutely say. Well, Wesley Snipes, thank you, Jesus Lord. So what do y'all think? We have to look at these things. These are things that we have to look at because people are trying to force it and make it a black-white thing, and all some people are saying. But the wisdom would come in. This is what I'm saying, Baker. The wisdom would come in is how are we going to separate those people, the bootleg from the real? How are we going to separate those people from racist camps? Because a lot of Christians, and I have to say apologists, they have attempted to bunch everybody together. So now that they're confused, and vocab get on the set, and vocab get in front of James White, not saying that he's the leader of it, but because vocab is on a platform like James White and the Bible Answer Man and all that opened up the whole thing to a whole different group of people. How are we going to move on from here if we got good intent? If we got good intent. Because a lot of pastors don't got good intent towards y'all because they don't know, or two, they don't want their numbers affected, because if we challenge this, we're going to challenge that. I told y'all, them other people were the first ones really challenging the tithes. What are the tithes? And then I heard the bishop said, listen, we better stop. 3 years after everything jumped off, we better stop telling these people that they cursed with a curse if they don't pay their tithes. Oh, challenge y'all to do that, because y'all would have never, some people, if a molester is not confronted, the church have been involved in some molestation and been involved in some things that ain't been the book. So if they're not being checked, if you don't listen, why you doing A, B, C, and D, they're gonna keep doing what they doing. So all some of us are doing is trying to check the church, but y'all think the church is above being checked. No, no, no. The church ain't above being checked. Now you're not right when you're checking the church, when you're challenging the church, and when you're pushing dialogue. That's all I'm doing. I'm pushing dialogue. It's apologetics when we blowing at Sinetta. Thank you, John. We appreciate you. Hebrew is a faith that's looking at the story of Ruth. We got to understand when we start dealing with certain things. All we're doing is just pushing down, or we want to come and we want to sit down and we want to talk, but so many people have another agenda to hold up tradition, to hold up their organization and keep the status quo. The status quo has been oppression of another people, and it's always been that in religion, in science, and everything else. And people sick of it, and people want to be free. Good to see you, souls of our ancestors. And what's wrong with that? Why is it such a problem that when anybody dark skinned talking about culture, anybody dark skinned, even to save people, you got to be, oh, don't put it above Jesus. We sit with it to another level. I deliberately didn't drink coffee. I don't want to amp myself up again, but we sick with it to another level. Let me read a few more of his comments before I slide over here. I told you they can't bother me right now. I got the key. They give me a little key card. And so my wallet, I just tap it on that little black thing that opens up all the doors. Glory. I think God is doing something. He said, Isaiah 19:9, moresoever, they shall work in fine flax, and that weave network shall turn pale. Bleaching. He's talking about light-skinned people again. Isaiah 19:9. He said, Jeremiah 30, his name is Timothy. Jeremiah 30:6. And he said specifically, Brother Dante and Sister E, Isaiah 29:22, therefore thus saith the Lord, who redeemeth Abraham concerning the house of Jacob, and shall not be ashamed, neither shall his face now wax pale. Bleacher. And he said, they pale-faced people. These were pale-faced. These were light-skinned people. And the Bible proves it. And a lot of people use that verse from Solomon when we running around here and people saying, I am black, but calmly don't look upon me because I'm black. That's not even Solomon speaking. That's where apologists have a ground that they're standing on. We're saying, listen, these people they reading thinking of Solomon. They don't even know who's reading. They don't even got the language down back in what they reading. Now they trying to go to Hebrew. That's how come we got to get on. We got to get Pastor Kelly on with that Hebrew. Whoever claimed that, whoever's a Christian, that y'all fluent, not just took a Hebrew class just to make it through seminary and fluent, and y'all reading that. Come on, please come on. We're glad to have you on. I tell you, the brother, I think the brother name is Abu. He's hit me on Facebook. We're glad to come on. We have to talk about that stuff. We got to talk about it. The other girl said, big deal, it doesn't make, no, it does make a difference, because if they're wrong in a lot of things, we're going to see that they're wrong. We're just not going to sit over there and bang. And remember, nobody's arguing. Nobody come on the platform. Nobody I'm reading in the comment section is trying to bunch them all together, because the world is watching us. And the second thing is, before I get out of here, I'm going to try to get on tonight. I don't think they gave me that key card, but they had me down in that kitchen with them other people. Lord, that's another story. I think tonight I'm going to try to see if I can get those other people on and we can answer some things. We want to make sure that we're answering things, and we got to make sure that other people are not bunching and lumping and throwing it all together, because the world is watching. And I'm going to leave y'all with this. Should other people even be involved in it? I'm not talking about vocab now, but he's already involved. But do outside people have to come and even discuss things when we're talking about us? When we're talking about us. I mean, like my man said, well, what do you mean us? You know, my mom's was white, you know, and he'd identify as, his sister's a little different. She's moving in the business world. She's very, very light-skinned. She, date European men, but what we would consider mulattoes and stuff like that. But he's light-skinned on his black power. And he get offended when black folk think because he's so light-skinned, he ain't steep in his history and steep in the culture of Africa. Somebody else brought up to me in the comment section, and I've heard it before. You say you Cushite, but Israelites don't bear witness with y'all whatsoever. Those are the sick camps. Once again, separate that from the people that I'm mentioning. Separate that. 9, 10 people send me where Captain Tazariak was talking to the little African boy saying we different people, we ain't the same people. And yes, the camps hate Africans, absolutely correct. And we see that on videos. We already seen them videos. We're very aware of that. But once again, the people that I'm discussing, they're not discussing skin color. When you start doing different people and how y'all see Pastor Major and them having on, and Sister E and them talking with light skin, dark skin European jewelry, speaks with them, European Jews. They deal with them. They're married to light skinned women, dark skin complexion. Let's put complexion out of the way. Let's put complexion out of the way, even though these other people made complexion a big thing. We got to really take our time and comb through the stuff. Nobody's saying everybody in Israel is a devil going to hell. We got to comb through the stuff. We're saying for sure Zionism ain't right and exact. We got rabbis in Crown Heights. We got rabbis in Jerusalem saying Zionism ain't right and exact. We terrorizing these people. I'm talking about rabbis. Y'all said the curly hair one with the black, the curly hair. Y'all say they right and exact, right? They don't even go with it. I'm gonna get out of here right now, y'all, so I can keep doing what I'm doing. It's 9:10. I got 5 minutes before I get over there. No matter them guys take their time and do whatever they want to do. So I want y'all to consider that. I'm gonna read comments and stuff like that, and we're gonna dialogue on these different things. And then we're gonna go and then we're gonna talk more about the agenda. There's an agenda in religion. Jesus said it. The Bible said there's an agenda in religion. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what degrees they got. We got to separate the spirit from degree and who's walking in truth. And I'm not saying that education is not important, but there's a lot of people that are moving in the status quo. Okay, man, I love y'all. I'm going to get out of here right now.